Marvel's currently look, they changed the name of New Avengers for Thunderbolts. Well, whatever. We saw this happen. Well, 2 months from now, we got another movie coming out in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Looking forward to it. Even teased at the end of Thunderbolts. And in fact, that scene in Thunderbolts was filmed 3 or 4 weeks before its release, the post-credit scene, which teased Fantastic Four. Well, Fantastic Four also not finished shooting, apparently. Fantastic Four First Steps is currently going through reshoots. And yeah, we saw some photos that leaked of Julia Garner. Now, whether that's maybe before her transformation to Shalabal or to Silver Surfer, maybe if it's after in some way and she gets released from that, nobody really knows. But they are shooting. They're doing reshoots actively right now for Fantastic Four, which is set to release in 8 weeks. Fantastic Four reshoots underway in LA just months before release. If it weren't a Marvel movie, there might be cause for concern. However, Fantastic Four First Steps is currently undergoing reshoots in Los Angeles, just over 2 months ahead of its release. According to Disney, these reshoots are being described as standard protocol for an MCU production.
Standard.
And you know what? That might be reality, and it might be part of the problem.
Yes.
That 8 weeks before a movie releases, you're scrambling to do reshoots. Yeah. And that's a normal thing. That's something that's been normalized in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in their production process. The fact that that's considered normal for you might be part of the problem. Nevertheless, that's what's happening. Again, these aren't pickup shots either. Some of the lead actors, including Julia Garner, are involved in the additional photography. This latest update comes less than 3 weeks after a full-length trailer was unveiled to the public. And obviously it says, hey, it's circling for July 25th. I don't think anyone's really expecting. So I suppose it's more like 2 months and like 10 weeks, right? Like a little around 2.5 months before its official release. But this is all happening as they're currently in production on Avengers Doomsday. They they did the post-credit scene for the Thunderbolts on this set, I believe, of Avengers Doomsday, potentially. So, and we've got another round of reshoots involving some actors who may be present in Doomsday as well. But these reshoots are happening in LA. I do think this is standard for Disney and the MCU, which I think is part of the problem, them scrambling at the last minute. But what do you expect out of this movie, Jay, especially knowing they're doing reshoots still?
Yeah, this is like where we are, where companies are just trying to pump out as much content as possible and not taking the care to give us a great film when it comes to these type of films. I remember reading back when I was covering more Star Wars. Now Star Wars is Star Wars, where J.J. Abrams was actually so basically J.J. Abrams did The Force Awakens, and he was pressured by Disney to make sure that it was released by Christmas. It's in Bob Iger's book that everybody was pressuring him, and he almost quit. And then they came back and they said, we're going to push it to May. I believe that's what happened. So then that movie was released in May. And then some of the reasons why, and there was like this article on why some of these directors don't want to work with these bigger companies because of the pressure of them pushing them to get it done quicker than what it didn't give them enough time to finish it and put the proper care into it. There was even a report that JJ, when he was brought back to do the last Star Wars film, that he was having people on the set to help spot direct while he was there because they didn't have enough time and they were afraid they weren't going to get the movie done for its release because there was just so much pressure and a short window to film these things. Also read the same thing about Indiana Jones and some of the other Marvel films that we have just recently seen, that it is just a massive rush to get these films out. So they're just like more content, go here, have more slop so we can just make money. Then when you see other films that people like are enjoying, it's like, you know, they take a lot of time and a lot of care to get those things done the way they want them to do. So it just tells me that, yeah, if they're just rushing to get this thing out by July, then we will see a rushed film that will just be another meh film where it's just like, we just got it out so we can get it out. It's too bad. It's too bad because I think a proper Fantastic Four film could really do something special. I always thought like after Endgame, they closed the book, you know, on that whole Avengers story and just tucked it away and started a brand new with Fantastic Four. They could have done easy with all the characters and villains and everything. They could have done an easy 10 years of amazing Fantastic Four films and different characters around them in movies that they wanted to. But here we are.
Are you excited to see sensitive
No.
Johnny Storm?
No.